Your power and resilience terrify them. They sense something within you, something they can't quite explain but feel in every interaction. It's the way you carry yourself, the way you bounce back when life knocks you down. It's the quiet strength in your eyes, the unwavering determination that keeps you moving forward. They see it, and it shakes them to their core because they cannot control it. They cannot predict it. They cannot influence it. And what people can't control, they often fear. It's not just your successes that disturb them. It's your refusal to break under pressure. It's the way you rise again and again, no matter how many times you've fallen. You're resilient, and that resilience challenges the limits they've set for themselves. It exposes the lies they tell themselves about what's possible and what isn't. It questions their excuses, their complaints, their comfort zones. Your power is a silent rebellion against mediocrity, and they know it. That's why they're desperate to uncover who you truly are, hoping that by understanding you, they can somehow neutralize the threat you pose to their fragile sense of reality. But they can't. Your power is not something they can understand because it's born from experiences they haven't lived, from pain they haven't felt, from battles they haven't fought. It's forged in the fire of your trials, shaped by your failures and perfected by your perseverance. They see the glow, but not the burn. They see the outcome, but not the journey. And that's what terrifies them the most: your story, your scars, your transformation. You are proof that it is possible to rise above circumstances, to redefine reality, to become more than what you were told you could be. This power is not about wealth, status, or influence. It's about your spirit, your identity, your truth. It's about standing firm in who you are, even when the world tries to reshape you. It's about being unapologetically authentic in a world full of pretenders. And that authenticity is intimidating because it demands others to confront the lies they live by. Your power is the mirror they fear the most, the mirror that shows them who they could be if only they had the courage to break free from their own limitations. They want to uncover who you truly are, but not because they admire you. It's because they fear what they do not understand. And nothing is more frightening to them than a person who knows their worth, embraces their truth, and lives without apology. That's why they watch you so closely. That's why they gossip, judge, and criticize. It's their attempt to categorize you, to put you into a box that makes them feel safe. But you don't fit into their boxes, do you? You were never meant to. You were meant to break them, to shatter their illusions, to redefine what is possible. They are desperate to label you because once they label you, they can dismiss you. They want to call you arrogant, difficult, different, anything that justifies their discomfort. But deep down they know the truth. It's not about you, it's about them. It's about their fear of their own potential, their fear of stepping into the unknown, their fear of breaking free from the roles they've been conditioned to play. You are the living proof that these roles are illusions, that the boxes are imaginary, that the limits are self-imposed, and that's terrifying. So remember this: their fear is not your burden. Their confusion is not your responsibility. You were not born to make them comfortable. You were born to be powerful, resilient, and free. You were born to break chains, to defy expectations, to redefine boundaries. Your power is not just yours. It's a force of nature, a manifestation of universal truth, a beacon for those still trapped in the shadows. And no matter how much they fear it, they can't stop it. Because the truth cannot be silenced, and power cannot be contained. If you don't recognize the power within you, you will live your life as a shadow of who you are meant to be. You will become a prisoner of other people's opinions, a puppet controlled by society's expectations. Your dreams will wither under the weight of self-doubt, and your potential will be buried beneath layers of fear and conformity. You will watch others live boldly while you remain stuck, questioning your worth, your purpose, your very existence. When you fail to embrace your power, you give others the authority to define your life. They will tell you who you should be, what you should do, how you should live. And because you haven't claimed your own identity, you will believe them. You will mold yourself to fit their narratives, sacrificing your dreams to fulfill their expectations. You will live in constant fear of rejection, criticism, and failure because you've handed over the pen that writes your story to people who don't understand your journey. But the consequences don't stop there. If you don't awaken to your power, you will continue to attract people who drain your energy, take advantage of your kindness, and manipulate your emotions. They will see your uncertainty and use it to control you. They will plant seeds of doubt in your mind, convincing you that you are not good enough, that your dreams are too big, that your voice doesn't matter. They will do this because your potential threatens their comfort. Your power challenges their complacency. Your growth exposes their stagnation, and rather than rising with you, they will try to pull you down. The worst part? You will start to believe them. You will internalize their judgments, adopting their limitations as your own. You will convince yourself that playing small is safer, that shrinking is easier, that hiding is more comfortable. You will build walls around your heart to protect yourself from pain, only to realize that those walls have also trapped you in a life that feels empty, unfulfilled, and meaningless. If you don't recognize your power, you will never experience the freedom of living authentically. You will spend your days pretending to be someone you're not, seeking approval that never truly satisfies, chasing success that leaves you feeling hollow. You will achieve goals that don't resonate with your soul, follow paths that lead you further away from your purpose, and wake up one day wondering where it all went wrong. You will lose yourself. You will lose the beauty of your unique identity, the magic of your gifts, the wisdom of your experiences. You will silence your voice, dim your light, and betray your truth. And all because you were too afraid to stand in your power. The stakes are high. Your happiness, your purpose, your legacy, all of it depends on your decision to embrace your power or let it slip away. If you don't, you will continue to live in the shadows of others, never knowing the fullness of your potential, never feeling the joy of true freedom. But if you do, if you dare to reclaim your power, you will become unstoppable. You will break free from the chains of fear and limitation. You will inspire others to rise with you, and you will live a life of purpose, passion, and authenticity. Your power is feared not because of what you do, but because of who you are. It challenges the very fabric of mediocrity, shatters the illusion of limitations, and questions the status quo. When you stand in your truth, you become a mirror, a reflection of what others could be if they dared to break free. And that reflection is both inspiring and terrifying. People fear your power because it exposes their excuses, reveals their insecurities, and forces them to confront their own fears. They see your courage and are reminded of their own timidity. They see your resilience and feel ashamed of their own surrender. They see your growth and are confronted with their own stagnation. Your authenticity is your greatest power. It is the courage to be yourself, unapologetically, without bending to the expectations of others. In a world that demands conformity, authenticity is an act of rebellion. It challenges societal norms, defies stereotypes, and shatters illusions. When you choose to be authentic, you free yourself from the shackles of approval and validation. You stop living for others and start living for yourself. And that in itself is terrifying to those who are trapped by their own masks. They fear your authenticity because it exposes their falseness. Your truth makes their lies uncomfortable. When you stand in your truth, they are forced to confront the lies they tell themselves every day, lies about who they are, what they want, and why they live the way they do. You remind them of the dreams they buried, the passions they abandoned, and the person they once wanted to be. You are the living proof that it is possible to be real in a world full of pretenders, and that scares them because it challenges their very existence. But authenticity is not easy. It requires vulnerability. It demands that you show up as you, our flaws and all, without the safety of pretense. It means embracing your imperfections, your insecurities, and your fears. It means owning your story, even the parts that are painful or messy. It means choosing courage over comfort, truth over popularity, and self-love over approval. This is why your authenticity is so powerful, because it is rare. Most people are too afraid to be real. They hide behind masks, roles, and labels because it's safer. It's easier to be who others expect you to be than to risk rejection by being who you truly are. It's more comfortable to fit in than to stand out. But you dared to be different. You dared to be real. You dared to be you. And that terrifies them, because it shows them what they could be if only they were brave enough to break free. Your authenticity also disrupts their need for control. When you are true to yourself, you are unpredictable. You are not bound by their expectations or limited by their judgments. They can't manipulate you because you don't seek their approval. They can't influence you because you don't need their validation. You are free, and that freedom challenges the structures they've built to feel safe. They will try to shame you, criticize you, and judge you because your authenticity threatens their comfort zones. They will label you as arrogant, difficult, or rebellious because they can't control you. But remember, their labels are not your truth. Their judgments are not your identity. They are merely reflections of their own fears, insecurities, and limitations. You do not owe them an explanation for being yourself. You do not need their permission to be real. So continue to be authentic. Continue to be bold, honest, and true. Let them be uncomfortable. Let them talk. Let them judge. None of it changes who you are. Your authenticity is your power, your freedom, and your truth. It is your light in a world of shadows, your voice in a world of noise, your essence in a world of masks. Don't dim it. Don't hide it. Don't apologize for it. Be unapologetically you, because that is your greatest power, and no one can take that away from you. Your resilience makes them uncomfortable. It disrupts the narrative they've created about what is possible and what isn't. It challenges the belief that failure is the end, that pain is a prison, and that obstacles are permanent. When they see you rise after every fall, rebuild after every setback, and continue despite every obstacle, it shakes their understanding of life itself. You defy the rules they live by, and that terrifies them because it reveals the truth. They too can rise if they choose to, but they are too afraid to try. Resilience is not about never falling. It's about always getting back up. It's about turning pain into power, wounds into wisdom, and failures into lessons. It's about refusing to give up no matter how hard the journey gets. It's about maintaining hope when everything around you says it's hopeless. This ability to rise again and again makes you unstoppable, and that makes others feel powerless because they can't control you. They can't predict you. They can't break you. People expect you to give up when life gets hard because that's what they would do. They expect you to complain, to feel defeated, to surrender because that's what they've done. But when you refuse to break, when you stand tall despite the storms, they don't know how to respond. Your resilience exposes their weakness. It confronts them with their own choices, their own fears, their own limitations. It forces them to see the chains they've placed on themselves, and they don't like that reflection. Your resilience also makes you unpredictable. They can't define you by your failures because you always rise above them. They can't categorize you by your struggles because you always overcome them. They can't limit you by your circumstances because you keep breaking through them. You are a living paradox, both vulnerable and unbreakable, both soft and strong, both wounded and powerful. They can't understand you because they've never known what it means to be resilient. This unpredictability makes them uneasy because they rely on labels, stereotypes, and judgments to feel in control. But you don't fit their labels. You don't conform to their stereotypes. You don't live by their judgments. You are free, adaptable, and constantly evolving. You are not who you were yesterday, and you won't be the same tomorrow. You are growth in motion, transformation in action, resilience in its purest form. And they can't handle that because it defies their need for certainty and control. They will try to bring you down because your resilience threatens their excuses. They will tell you to give up, to stop dreaming, to accept defeat because that would make them feel better about their own surrender. They will criticize your hope, mock your optimism, and question your strength because they can't understand how you keep going. But remember, their doubts are not your truth. Their fears are not your destiny. Their limitations are not your boundaries. Your resilience is your superpower. It is the reason you are still standing, still fighting, still growing. It is the reason you can face the storms and dance in the rain. It is the reason you are stronger today than you were yesterday. Don't let their fears stop you. Don't let their doubts break you. Don't let their limitations confine you. Continue to rise, to rebuild, to overcome. Continue to be resilient, because that is your power, and no one can take that away from you. Your power reflects others' insecurities. You are a mirror, revealing to others the truth they've been avoiding. When they look at you, they see what they could be if they had the courage to break free from their fears, excuses, and limitations. They see your growth and are reminded of their stagnation. They see your courage and are confronted with their own timidity. They see your success and are forced to acknowledge their failures. It's not you they fear, it's their own reflection. In you, your light exposes their shadows. Your authenticity exposes their pretenses. Your resilience exposes their surrender. They see in you the person they could become, but they are too afraid to step into that power. And so they criticize you, judge you, and try to bring you down. Not because they hate you, but because they hate the truth you remind them of. You are the mirror they can't escape, the reflection they can't deny, the truth they can't ignore. And that is why they fear you. People fear what they do not understand, and you are a mystery they cannot solve. They try to categorize you, label you, define you, but you defy every box they try to put you in. You don't fit their stereotypes. You don't follow their rules, and you don't live by their limitations. You are unpredictable, and that makes them uncomfortable because they rely on predictability to feel safe. They need to know who you are, what you believe, and how you think, so they can understand you. But you are beyond their understanding. You are limitless, evolving, and free, and they fear that freedom because it challenges their fixed ideas of reality. They are afraid of you because they don't know what to expect from you. You are not controlled by their opinions, not influenced by their judgments, not swayed by their criticism. You think for yourself, speak your truth, and follow your path, regardless of who agrees or disagrees. This independence threatens their need for control. They can't manipulate you because you are self-sufficient. They can't influence you because you are self-aware. They can't dominate you because you are free. And that freedom terrifies them because it reveals their own bondage. Your fearlessness in the face of the unknown challenges their fear of change. You embrace uncertainty, explore the unknown, and take risks without hesitation. You are comfortable with ambiguity, with not having all the answers, with discovering new truths. They, on the other hand, cling to familiarity, routine, and certainty because it makes them feel safe. They fear the unknown because it threatens their comfort zones, and you are the embodiment of that fear because you live beyond their boundaries. They will try to control you, limit you, and define you to make themselves feel safe. They will say, you're too different, too bold, too rebellious because they want you to conform. But remember, their fears are not your limitations. Their comfort zones are not your boundaries. Their need for certainty is not your prison. You were born to explore, to expand, to evolve. You were born to live in freedom, not in fear. So continue to be a mystery. Continue to be unpredictable, unconventional, and unapologetic. Let them fear what they don't understand. Let them be uncomfortable with your freedom. Let them struggle to label you because no label can contain your truth. You are limitless, boundless, and free. You are the unknown they fear, the possibility they deny, the change they resist. And that is your power. Your power is yours and yours, alone. No one can take it from you unless you give it away. It is not dependent on others' approval, validation, or acceptance. It is not defined by your status, wealth, or success. It is not determined by your past, your mistakes, or your failures. Your power comes from within, from your spirit, your courage, your truth. It is your birthright, your inheritance, your essence. And no one can take that away from you unless you allow them to. To reclaim your power, you must first recognize that you gave it away. You gave it to the people who judged you, the society that labeled you, the experiences that wounded you. You believed their opinions, accepted their limitations, and adopted their fears. You let their voices drown out your own truth. Their expectations shape your identity. and their rules define your worth. But their power over you was an illusion you created by believing them more than you believed yourself. The moment you realize this, you reclaim your power. You stop seeking approval and start living by your truth. You stop conforming and start creating. You stop pretending and start being. You stop shrinking and start expanding. You stop surviving and start thriving. You remember who you are and why you are here. You reconnect with your purpose, your passion, and your potential. You become who you were always meant to be, powerful, authentic, and free. But reclaiming your power is not easy. It requires courage, self-awareness, and discipline. It requires unlearning the lies you were told, healing the wounds you were given, and releasing the fears you were taught. It requires standing alone, facing rejection, and walking away from people, places, and beliefs that no longer serve you. It requires choosing yourself over others, truth over comfort, and freedom over familiarity. This is why so many people never reclaim their power. They are too afraid to let go of the old to make room for the new. They are too comfortable in their cages to break free. They are too dependent on others to stand on their own, but not you. You are ready. You are ready to break free, to rise above, to reclaim what is yours. You are ready to live by your truth, to honor your soul, to fulfill your destiny. You are ready to be powerful. So take back your power. Take back your voice, your choices, your life. Take back your identity, your dreams, your freedom. Stop living by others' rules and start creating your own. Stop seeking permission and start following your intuition. Stop doubting yourself and start trusting yourself. You are powerful beyond measure, and the world needs your light. Now that you understand the power within you, it's time to embrace it fully. This is not just about knowing who you are, but about living as who you are every single day. It's about embodying your truth, expressing your power, and celebrating your authenticity. It's about breaking free from fear, doubt, and limitation. It's about rising above judgment, criticism, and rejection. It's about being unapologetically, undeniably, and unconditionally you. To do this, start by affirming your power daily. Every morning, look in the mirror and declare, "I am powerful, I am resilient, I am unstoppable." Say it with conviction, with passion, with certainty. Feel it in your bones, in your heart, in your soul. Speak it until it becomes your truth, your identity, your reality. Let this affirmation remind you of who you are and what you are capable of. Next, practice gratitude for your resilience. Every night, reflect on the challenges you faced and overcame. Acknowledge the strength you showed, the courage you found, and the growth you achieved. Celebrate your resilience because it is your superpower. It is the reason you are still standing, still fighting, still thriving. It is the reason you are unstoppable. Finally, live your truth boldly. Speak your mind, follow your heart, and pursue your dreams without apology. Don't shrink to fit others' expectations. Don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Don't silence your voice to keep the peace. Be authentic, be bold, be free. Live as who you are, not who they want you to be. Your power is the truth of who you are. It is the light that shines within you, the strength that drives you, the courage that defines you. It is the resilience that keeps you rising, the authenticity that sets you free, and the purpose that gives your life meaning. It is your essence, your destiny, your birthright. It is who you are meant to be. The world may fear your power, but that is not your burden to carry. Their fear is a reflection of their own limitations, not yours. Their discomfort is a sign of your greatness, not your weakness. Their judgments are not your truth. So do not shrink, do not hide, do not apologize. Stand tall, stand firm, and stand free. You are powerful beyond measure, and you are meant to shine. Be who you are. Live your truth. Embrace your power, and let the world adjust to your brilliance.